My name is Alejandra Ríos. I was once the woman who made that house a home, every corner dusted, every meal cooked, every pillow fluffed with care. It wasn't just brick and wood to me. It was where my daughter took her first steps. Where I cried quietly in the kitchen when no one was looking. Where I kissed my husband goodnight before the silence between us became permanent. But one morning, all of it, every memory, every sacrifice, was erased with just 5 words from my father-in-law. This is not your home. Not our home. My home. My hands scrubbed those floors. My hands painted that nursery. My hands braided the hair of their granddaughter, every morning before school. But none of that mattered when the papers didn't have my name on them. My marriage had already been falling apart for months. Daniel, my ex-husband, started coming home later, his excuses getting sloppier. Late client. Stuck in traffic. Too tired. I stopped asking questions because I already knew the answers. It wasn't just about love anymore, it was about power. About control. About me fading into the background of his family's perfect picture. When I finally decided I wanted a divorce, I thought I was claiming my freedom. But I didn't know I was walking into a storm. The day I packed my bags, I thought I'd at least have time to breathe, to think. But that same evening, as I was helping my daughter with her school project, his father walked in, stern, cold, and proud like always, and told me I had to leave. No more charity, he said. You're not part of this family now. That word again, family. As if it had ever included me. They gave me 1 day. 1. I packed everything I could fit into 2 suitcases. My daughter clung to my leg, crying. But what could I do? I had no rights to the house. No savings. No backup. Just a small bag of scissors, brushes, and the talent I had trained for years. And so I left. Not because I wanted to. But because they made sure I had no choice. I slept on a friend's couch the first night. The second night too. And then the next week. I looked at my daughter as she tried to fall asleep beside me, and I promised her something I didn't yet believe. Mama is going to fix this. I swear. But deep inside, I was broken. I had spent a decade serving that family. Birthdays, holidays, hospital visits, I was the one holding things together. But now I was the outsider. The intruder. The unwanted memory they wanted to erase. I was bitter. Humiliated. Angry. But above all, I was alive. And that meant I could still fight. After the first week, the couch started to bruise my back, but not as much as what they did bruised my pride. I found a tiny room behind a corner bakery. The walls were thin, the ceiling leaked when it rained, and the only furniture was a chipped mirror nailed to the wall. But it had light. Morning light. And in that light, I set up a folding chair, a tray, and my brushes. And that's where it began. My first client was the baker's wife. She sat nervously, her hair long and heavy with neglect. I didn't speak much. Just let the scissors do their work. When I finished, she touched her hair and whispered, "I haven't felt pretty in years." She paid me with bread and tears. That night, I cried too. Not out of pity, but out of something I hadn't felt in a long time, hope. Word spread. By the end of the month, I was trimming bangs in living rooms, dyeing hair in laundry rooms, curling bridesmaids' locks in hotel bathrooms. I biked from house to house, rain or shine. My scissors never left my side. They became my sword, silent, swift, sharp. One night, I passed by their old house. The lights were off. The garden was overgrown. And for a moment, I felt nothing. Not hate. Not regret. Just distance. Daniel had remarried a woman half his age. My daughter said she wore too much perfume and tried too hard. I smiled, told her to be kind. But inside, I felt fire. Still, I didn't let the fire burn me. I let it fuel me. 2 years passed. I rented a small space downtown. Called it Races, Roots. Because that's what I was rebuilding. My roots. The day I signed my first business license, I wore the same lipstick I used on my wedding day. This time, the color wasn't for someone else to admire. It was for me. I bought my first real chair, my first neon sign, my first espresso machine. My daughter painted a little flower on the mirror. She said it was our lucky charm. And luck, for once, stayed with us. I started getting calls from beauty influencers. Then a local magazine. Then a bridal agency. Before I knew it, my schedule was booked for 6 months straight. And not once, did I think about them. Until one day. I got a letter. It was thin, stiff, official looking. The house. The one they kicked me out of. It was being listed for public auction. My hands didn't shake. My heart didn't skip. Instead, I smiled. Because this time I had a name, a business, a bank account, and a daughter watching me, learning. This time, they wouldn't see me at the door. They'd see me at the auction. And I wouldn't beg to be let in. I'd own the key. Auction day. I wore black. Not for mourning. For power. My hair was pulled back into a perfect knot. Red lipstick, like armor. Heels that echoed against the marble floor of the courthouse hall. I wasn't the woman they threw out barefoot. I was the woman walking in with a lawyer at her side and confidence in her eyes. There were only 4 people bidding on the house. A middle-aged couple. A construction company rep. And him. Daniel. He didn't recognize me at first. But when he did, his jaw locked. His new wife tugged at his sleeve, asking who I was. He muttered, "No one." That word used to sting. Now, it tasted like triumph. The bidding started low. The house had depreciated. Years of unpaid property taxes. Loans. Repairs left unfinished. I waited. Let the others fight. Daniel raised the price out of pride, not strategy. He was sweating. His voice cracked. I raised my hand once. Firm. Calculated. Final. They all stopped. Even him. The auctioneer's voice echoed. Sold to Miss Rios. I didn't flinch. Just signed the paper, thanked the clerk, and walked past him without blinking. At the edge of the courthouse stairs, I stopped. Turned. Met his eyes. And said. The keys. Please leave them on the table when you go. He said nothing. But I saw it. In his eyes. The moment he realized he had created his own ending. That house was never his. It had always been ours. And now it was mine. The door creaked when I opened it. Same sound it made the day I left. But the echo was different. This time, it wasn't chasing me out, it was welcoming me in. The living room still had that stubborn lemon-scented floor polish. The curtains hadn't changed. The same dining table, with one missing leg brace, stood proud and broken, just like the memories around it. I didn't cry. I walked through it all, the kitchen where I used to braid my daughter's hair before school. The hallway where Daniel once hung a photo of his parents like gods on a wall. Everything looked smaller. Isn't that the strange thing about growth? The place that once felt too big to escape now feels too small to fit your strength. I climbed the stairs. Every step took me closer to the room they forced me out of. That day still replayed in fragments, my suitcase dragged, my daughter screaming, his father pointing to the door. I opened the bedroom door. It smelled like dust and defeat. But I stood tall. The mirror was cracked. The bed frame rusted. But it was mine. I lay down that night without unpacking. Just me, a blanket, and the soft hum of distant traffic replacing years of rage. For the first time in forever, I didn't feel like I had to prove anything. Not to them. Not to Daniel. Not even to myself. The silence wasn't heavy anymore. It was sacred. Before I fell asleep, I whispered. You did it. No applause. No grand speech. Just a quiet exhale in a room where I was once erased. And when I woke up, the sunlight hit the window at the perfect angle. My house. My morning. Not borrowed. Not begged. Earned. The house no longer whispered his name. It spoke in laughter now. In the scent of fresh coffee, the rhythm of scissors snipping hair in the converted sunroom, the soft hum of life rebuilding itself. I turned the living room into a mini salon, not because I needed the money, but because I wanted the space to hold my dreams now. Clients came. Neighbors whispered. The woman they once pitied was now running her own business from the same address they watched her get thrown out of. Poetic? No. Powerful? Yes. My daughter, Lucia, visits on weekends. She brings her drawings and calls this place our victory house. Her little feet patter down the hallway that once echoed with fights. The walls no longer hold rage. They hold resilience. One afternoon, an envelope arrived. No name. Just handwriting I hadn't seen in years. Daniel. Inside was a short note. I saw the For Women by Women article in the paper. You're on the cover. Congratulations. I guess, you really did it. I didn't reply. He never deserved to witness my rebirth. But the world would. Because I wasn't just back. I had reclaimed. My story. My body. My home. Every morning now, I write a quote on a small chalkboard by the entrance. Today it reads. Sometimes, the door they slam shut behind you, leads to the front door of your own empire. Clients love it. Lucia calls it my strength spell. But it's more than that. It's truth. Because when they tried to bury me, they forgot, I was seed, not stone. I didn't come back to haunt them. I came back to heal me. And this house? It doesn't remind me of the woman they tried to break. It reminds me of the woman who refused to stay broken.